My girlfriend texted she was staying at another man's house. I found her messages saying, "He's so stupid, pays for everything and thinks I'm actually going to marry him. Jake's already planning our future once I dump this loser." That's when I realized I'd been subsidizing my own betrayal and decided to make every dollar count. The message came at PM on a Tuesday while I was reviewing my monthly budget spreadsheet in my downtown Seattle apartment. The numbers were stark. $400 rent, $180 utilities, $450 groceries, $200 miscellaneous expenses that Kendra somehow generated. Total monthly cost of supporting her was $830 beyond my own living expenses. Annual total was $21,960, and for 2 years I'd invested $43,920 in someone who saw me as a temporary financial solution. But here's what she didn't know. I'd been documenting everything for 3 months. As a senior software developer making $142,000 annually at Microsoft, I understand the value of data collection and strategic planning. The suspicious behavior started in January. Secretive phone calls, working late with Jake from her accounting department, sudden interest in expensive skincare products she couldn't afford on her $38,000 salary at the marketing firm downtown. I'd installed financial tracking software that categorized every expense. Kendra's monthly impact on my budget had grown from $800 when she moved in 18 months ago to $830 by March. The emergency credit card I'd given her showed $340 in Starbucks purchases alone last month, plus $180 in ride shares to locations she never told me about, and $220 in clothing purchases from stores near Jake's Capitol Hill neighborhood. When I found her iPad logged into her social media accounts 2 weeks earlier, I began systematic documentation, screenshots of her group chat messages where she called me her starter boyfriend and bragged about having me wrapped around her finger, text threads with Jake planning their evening together, Instagram DMs where he called her baby and described what he wanted to do to her. I saved everything to encrypted cloud storage with timestamps and metadata intact. Let me break down the numbers on what supporting Kendra actually cost me. Beyond the monthly $830, there were hidden expenses. $89 monthly increase in my health insurance to add her as a domestic partner, $45 monthly increase in car insurance, $30 monthly for her gym membership she used exactly 4 times. Her share of date nights, vacations, and entertainment averaged $380 monthly. Real monthly cost was $2,374. Annual total was $28,488. But the strategic opportunity came when she texted about staying at Jake's. "I'll be staying at Jake's tonight. Don't wait up." Instead of emotional confrontation, I implemented what I called the permanent relocation strategy. I documented the entire process with photos, timestamps, and receipts. Every item packed, photographed, and cataloged. 8 boxes, 2 suitcases. Total packing time was 3.2 hours. Transportation cost to Jake's apartment on Capitol Hill was $12 in gas. Locksmith fee for complete lock change was $180. Total immediate cost was $192. The strategic beauty was legal positioning. Washington state tenant law requires 30-day notice for eviction, but only applies to tenants who pay rent or have lease agreements. I had documentation proving Kendra never paid rent, never signed the lease, and voluntarily declared her intention to live elsewhere. My attorney, David Chen from Morrison & Associates, confirmed that delivering her belongings to her stated destination was legally sound and actually demonstrated good faith effort to preserve her property. I found Jake's address from when Kendra had me drop her off for a team meeting last month. The Capitol Hill apartment building had a secured entrance, but a resident leaving held the door open for me. I stacked all 8 boxes and both suitcases neatly outside his 3rd-floor unit, took photos for documentation, and left a note. "Kendra's belongings as requested. She's all yours now." Then I calculated the complete financial severance. Removed her from Netflix, $15.99 monthly, Spotify Family Plan, $7.50 monthly, Amazon Prime, $14.99 monthly, gym membership, $29.99 monthly, phone plan Family Edition, $25 monthly, car insurance, $45 monthly, health insurance domestic partner coverage, $89 monthly. Monthly savings from account cancellations was $227.47. Credit card cancellation eliminated her $340 monthly average spending. Combined immediate monthly savings was $567.47. But here's where strategic patience paid dividends. Instead of blocking her immediately, I documented every subsequent interaction. Her 3 a.m. call from her friend Mia's phone provided recorded evidence of her admitting the Jake situation was a test to make me jealous. I saved recordings of her admitting to playing games and expecting me to chase her. Washington's one-party consent law made every recording legally admissible. The first call came at p.m. "What is this? Why is my stuff at Jake's?" she demanded. "You said you were staying there. I helped you move," I replied calmly. "This isn't funny. Pick up when I call." I didn't answer the next 47 calls that night. Within 24 hours, the consequences multiplied exponentially. Her attempt to get keys from my landlord failed because she'd never been on any official documents. Her mother, Darlene's call demanding I provide 30 days' notice backfired when I explained the legal requirements for tenant status. Jake's call threatening me ended when I mentioned forwarding his Instagram DMs to his girlfriend Sarah, a conversation I recorded and saved. "Bro, what the hell?" Jake had said. "How's Sarah handling the news about your late-night work sessions?" I replied. "It wasn't like that, man." "Then you won't mind if I forward your Instagram DMs with Kendra to Sarah, the ones where you call her baby and talk about what you want to do to her." The line went silent. "Yeah, Kendra left her iPad signed in. I noticed it this morning, read some very interesting messages, screenshots saved." "You don't understand," Jake stammered. "I understand perfectly. You wanted to play with someone else's girlfriend. Now you can have her full time. Congratulations." The professional repercussions accelerated when Kendra's boss Walter contacted me through LinkedIn. Kendra had listed me as an emergency contact for a salary advance request, not realizing Walter could see my updated relationship status showing single as of yesterday. "Hey, odd question. Is everything okay with Kendra? She listed you as her emergency contact in reference on a salary advance request," Walter messaged. "We broke up 2 days ago when she decided to stay at her coworker Jake's house," I replied. "Jake from accounting?" "That's the one. They both called in sick today and yesterday. Interesting coincidence?" "We have a strict fraternization policy. Thank you for the information." Both Kendra and Jake were terminated within 48 hours for policy violations. I tracked the financial destruction methodically. Kendra's annual salary was $38,000, now $0. Jake's salary was approximately $42,000, now $0. Combined lost income was $80,000 annually. Their unemployment benefits would provide roughly $320 weekly each for 26 weeks maximum, assuming they qualified. Total unemployment compensation was $16,640 combined versus their previous $80,000 combined income. Net loss was $63,360 annually. Meanwhile, my financial position improved dramatically. Monthly savings from ending the relationship was $2,374. Annual savings was $28,488. But the strategic documentation I'd maintained proved invaluable when Kendra escalated to identity theft. She attempted 3 separate fraudulent applications: hotel booking using my canceled credit card, new credit card application using my SSN, and phone plan application using my information. I'd placed credit freezes with all 3 bureaus immediately after ending the relationship. Cost was $30 total. This prevented the fraudulent applications from succeeding, but each attempt was logged and reported to authorities. Detective Morrison from Seattle PD explained that attempted identity theft carries penalties including up to 5,000 fines and 12 months imprisonment for first-time offenders. Multiple attempts elevated the charges to felony level. The legal consultation with Chen cost $350 initially, plus $200 for document review when filing police reports. Total legal investment was $550, but this protected me from potential liabilities including fraudulent debt accumulation, credit damage, and harassment claims. Chen calculated that successful identity theft could have cost me $15,000 to $50,000 in fraudulent charges and credit repair expenses. 2 weeks after the breakup, Kendra attempted forced re-entry with her cousins Rodney and Dirk and a U-Haul truck. She claimed she was moving back in and that I had no legal right to keep her out. Fortunately, I was having lunch with my friend Carlos, an off-duty Seattle police officer, and my brother, Felix, a powerlifter, when we heard commotion outside my apartment building. Rodney was trying to pick my lock while Dirk was loading my patio furniture into the U-Haul. Kendra was directing them like she owned the place. Carlos stepped outside and showed his badge. "Gentlemen, that's breaking and entering and theft. I suggest you stop." "Who the hell are you?" Rodney demanded. "Someone who's about to arrest you if you don't put that furniture back." They returned the furniture immediately. "I have rights. I lived here," Kendra insisted. "Ma'am, I understand you were a guest who left voluntarily. You have no legal claim to this property," Carlos explained. "He has my things." "Everything of yours was delivered to Jake's address 2 weeks ago," I said, showing Carlos the photos and delivery receipts. "My grandmother's necklace is in there." "You mean the necklace you're wearing right now?" I pointed to her chest, where she was indeed wearing the necklace she claimed I had. "That's a different one," she stammered. Felix laughed. "Wow, she's really bad at this." The cousins backed away, realizing this wasn't going their way. "Kendra, you said he stole your stuff. We're out." "Sorry, man. She said you were holding her hostage." They left with the U-Haul, abandoning Kendra on the sidewalk. The strategic value of documentation became clear. I had photos proving all her belongings were delivered to Jake's address, receipts from the locksmith, and recordings of her admitting she'd left voluntarily. Carlos confirmed she had no legal claim to the property and that attempting to remove my furniture constituted theft. When Kendra's identity theft attempts continued, I decided to press charges. Detective Morrison arrested her at her temporary residence, a friend's couch, on charges of 2 counts of attempted identity theft, 1 count of fraud, and 1 count of harassment. She'd been calling my workplace pretending to be my wife with emergencies, which my HR department had documented and reported. Her bail was set at $5,000. Her mother, Darlene, called, demanding I bail her out. "You need to bail her out," Darlene insisted. "Why would I bail out someone who committed crimes against me?" I replied. "She's learned her lesson." "Has she? Because she tried identity theft twice and harassment multiple times. This will ruin her life." "She ruined her own life. What do you want from me?" "Nothing. I want nothing. I want to never hear from any of you again." The final financial accounting 6 months later showed the complete strategic victory. My monthly expenses decreased by $2,374, annual savings $28,788. Investment in legal protection and documentation was $742 total, $550 legal fees, $192 immediate costs. Net annual benefit was $27,746. Kendra's financial situation deteriorated completely. Unemployed, facing criminal charges with bail set at $5,000. Legal fees estimated at $8,000 to $15,000, and potential restitution payments. The identity theft charges resulted in 18 months probation, $3,200 in fines and court costs, and mandatory financial counseling. Her criminal record eliminated prospects in finance, banking, or any position requiring background checks. Estimated lifetime earning impact was $200,000 to $400,000 in reduced salary potential. Jake fared similarly, terminated from his $42,000 position, unable to secure employment in accounting due to the fraternization policy violation on his record. His girlfriend Sarah of 3 years left him when she discovered the Instagram messages, and his mother threatened eviction if he continued contact with that homewrecker. Last verified information showed him working retail at Target for $12 hourly, representing an annual earning decrease of $17,000. The strategic satisfaction wasn't just financial, it was professional validation of methodical planning over emotional reaction. Every piece of documentation proved essential. Every recorded conversation provided leverage. Every financial decision protected my assets while eliminating liabilities. Today, 18 months later, I'm in a relationship with Tori, a software engineer who pays for her own expenses, maintains her own apartment, and contributes equally to shared activities. Monthly relationship expenses are $190 for dates we both choose and split proportionally based on our incomes. No financial dependence, no game playing, no strategic manipulation. Tori and I met through mutual friends at a tech meetup 3 months after the Kendra situation ended. She has her own successful career, her own savings, and her own goals. When we go out, she insists on paying her share. When we travel, she books her own flights and hotel rooms. When we decided to spend more time together, she kept her own apartment rather than moving into mine. The lesson here isn't about relationship drama. It's about strategic asset protection and consequence management. When someone systematically exploits your financial generosity while planning your replacement, the solution isn't emotional confrontation or attempts at reconciliation. It's methodical documentation, professional legal consultation, and strategic implementation of protective measures. My $742 investment in documentation and legal advice saved me from at least $43,120 in continued financial exploitation, plus unknown amounts in potential identity theft damages. More importantly, it established clear boundaries about financial respect and personal accountability that have influenced every relationship decision since. The key to protecting yourself financially is treating personal relationships like business partnerships. Document contributions, maintain independent assets, and never subsidize behavior that undermines your interests. Strategic thinking beats emotional manipulation every single time, and the financial returns compound over years. Strategic documentation and professional consultation aren't paranoia. They're basic financial protection strategies that every person supporting others should implement immediately.